So it's Kelly again, and I am attempting video number 2. If you made it through video number 1, God bless you. There's a special place in heaven for you, because that thing was an atrocity. But anyway, so I'm doing this one. This is going to be a card for A to Z scrapbooking, and I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and leave the team. I've been with them for 3 years, and Linda and the girls are wonderful. I just feel like I don't have anything left to give them, and that's not fair. So here's what I'm going to be using today. The flower and butterfly set from Hero Arts, which is one of my absolute favorites. We're going to be using this one up here. And then the Stamp and Cut thanks. I have all of them. I have the hello, the congrats, all of them, because they're awesome. So that's what we're going to be doing. One of today's technique is an emboss resist. And it's one of the ones that I have done before, and I've always gotten lots of questions about it. So since I started doing videos, this should be one of the first ones that I do. Some of the new distress inks, Twisted Citron, Mermaid Lagoon, Fossilized Amber, and Abandoned Coral. These are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful distress inks, and then Black Soot. So we're going to start with some ink blenders, and you just want to cover your whole panel in whatever random pattern that you want. I usually try to work in threes, and I usually try to get a pretty heavy coat just because I like me some bright colors. If you don't like use some bright colors, then go a little lighter. Do whatever makes you happy. And then because there's so many colors, we're going to create a lot of secondary colors too, because they're going to overlap. And I'm also, as I told you previously, if you read my blog, you know this, I am a cheapskate, so I only have about 3 of these little blender tools, and that is sufficient for me. So you'll see me interchanging them a lot. Because I just don't, I mean, it would be lovely. Oh my God, it would be so lovely if I could have a blender tool for every single color that I have, because I own every single color of distress inks. I feel like they're a wonderful tool to have in your arsenal. But yeah, I'm not paying $5 a pop for all of these distress ink blenders. That's crazy to me. Just crazy. So, I'm just going to add these on, and I'm getting this little blank spot in the middle, and I'm actually, I may end up, God, I guess I'll put the green there. I feel like it's going to be ugly with that red, but that part's ugly too, so whatever. That's what we're going to do. This Mermaid Lagoon has got to be one of my new favorites. It's such a beautiful blue-green color, and especially with it still being summer. I know fall is coming. I don't want to talk about it. Still summer, since it is still summer here in Ohio anyway. It's about 85 outside. I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful color for any kind of sea scenes you want to do, or I got that new Hero Art set with the anchors, and I love that thing. I think it's just, they're beautiful. So here's where we're at. Everything's colored up. Lots of fun variation in there. And this is probably just fine the way it is, but we're going to find a way to make it even cooler. And let me just wipe this up here, because otherwise I'll get distress ink on everything. So the game plan here is we're going to emboss over this. We're going to do an emboss resist. And, but first, because you can emboss with distress ink, you're going to have to make sure your distress ink is dry. Completely dry. Not a little dry, all the way dry. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. So we're going to dry it. Okay, when you think it is completely dry, take your embossing powder and your plain paper, no embossing anything on it. Put this over it. Shake it off. See if anything sticks to it. If anything sticks to it, rub it off. I usually just use I think we're good. Just a plain cloth. Rub that off. And so now this is where we're going to come in with the Versamark, use my powder tool. I'm going to put that all over the whole thing because I don't know exactly where I'm stamping yet. So we're going to ink the stamp up with the Versamark, and then we're going to stamp. This is a pretty solid stamp, so you're going to want to make sure you push pretty good. If I had been smart, I probably would have used my Misty so that I could stamp over it again. I didn't do that, so here's hoping. Okay, and then I have clear embossing powder, fine clear embossing powder. We're just going to put that on, flick it off a few times, clean up any edges, and then you're going to heat emboss that. And then I'm going to do that a few more times just to get a good design going here. That did kind of overlap the other stamp. I'm not that concerned about it. I think it'll be fine. Because I can just go in. Oh, this is a terrible brush. Whatever. Probably should be better prepared for this stuff. But I'm not. You know, because normally when I make my cards, no joke, I just wing it the whole time. Like, I never know what I'm doing. I just sit down and hope it comes out pretty, or I throw it in the garbage. Okay. And then I'm going to heat set this one. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. And I'm feeling like I want some more of this pink. That's what I think. I think I want some more pink. Yeah, I'm rhyming. I'm very entertaining, aren't I? Oh, dear God. Okay. So I think we're going to go up here. I'm not going to be using the whole piece. I'm just going to be using the parts that I like. So it will eventually be cut down. We're going to do this again. Again, working in threes, so it's a little more appealing. Okay, so I think I'm going to end up cutting this down before I do the next part, just because it's a lot of ink. So let's do that. Can you tell I type exactly as I talk, and I say so like 650 million times a day. Quarter of an inch. Let's go 3.5. So that's gonna be. See, I just did it again. I just said so again. 3.5 by 3. No. Quick math here. I cut off 3/4 of an inch off the side, so we're gonna do 3/4 of an inch here. Just so it's even when I put it on my card base. You can probably hear my Pandora again. I can't help it. I legitimately cannot craft without music. I don't understand how people can. So, sorry about your luck. You gotta listen to my, what is this? The cab. You gotta listen to the cab. So here's where the magic comes in. I have black soot. You can do one of two ways. You can take this, and I promise you it'll be pretty at the end. I promise. Promises. And you can just go directly to paper like this, and you're already starting to get some of the resist there. If you have something, a design like mine is, where it's very intricate, it can be harder to get into those little pieces parts. So then I just take my ink blender and ink it up, and then just go in there and rub it in. So I'm sure that all of the areas have black ink over it, because that is where it gets pretty, guys. So I feel like that's good. Except for that part over there, which was not covered. Then I usually go in first with either a dry or a damp. You don't want wet, because that'll take your black right off. So I just sprayed it with just a little bit of water so it's damp. And then you just want to buff the part. See, look at how pretty. All that color shows through. So whatever you want to show through underneath, and see it started to like pull some color up over here. So I'm going to go back in with this and add some black back in. Because the contrast is what really makes it pop. This one, see, I got a little bit back on there, so it's a little dirty again. Dirty. Nobody wants a dirty card. So that's the panel that we're going to be using. And then I'm just going to clean this up. Look at my little fingertips, aren't they? They're sad looking fingertips. Some people don't like to get inky. Wear gloves. This is not the technique for you. I'm actually going to do a bit more embossing for my, well, what do we want to do here? I feel like that's still dirty. This one's really wet, and I'm going to be careful just to touch. Oh yeah, see, we're still really dirty. So even when you've done this 100 times, you can still be improved upon. Just be careful not to get that background, because you'll pick up all that ink. Oh, I feel like that's so much better. Don't you feel like that's so much better? I feel like we're sitting in my craft room having a conversation here. This one didn't seem to be nearly as bad. Oh, look at that. As I say that, there's like all this black on my baby wipe. I'm not using watercolor paper. You probably could. And then maybe it wouldn't be as, you wouldn't have to be as careful with the wetness, because the paper could take it. But I'm just using regular cardstock, and this paper cannot take it. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe just right across the middle we'll do the sentiment. So I'm switching from clear embossing powder to white embossing powder. Holy smokes, yo, we're already on 14 minutes. I'm way too chatty. Gotta get my button gear. So for this one, I think maybe I will use the Misty, just because it's going to be stamping on, look at all this crap on my Misty. Good God. It's going to be, let me scooch this up there, on top of this bumpy surface. So I feel like we should probably be able to do it again. That's the wonderful thing about the Misty. When these things first came out, I was like, what in the heck do I need that for? I don't make multiples of anything, ever. So I make one card, I only make it once. But then, then I went to the stamping retreat, and like everybody had a Misty, and I saw exactly how they would be beneficial for me, which is with my one layer cards. Cannot even tell you. There is no way to count how many times I have jacked up a one layer card with the sentiment. Just completely ruined it. Oh, absolutely. And then I cry and I swear and rock myself in the corner for a little while. And then I try to figure out a way to fix it. And most of the time it's like I'll put a banner over it or whatever. But then it's not a one layer card. All right, here's what just happened here. See how I didn't wait for my Distress ink to be dry? Do you see what happened here? Do you see how hideous this is? I mean, it's so ugly. Oh my goodness. But we haven't heat set it, so there's still hope. So I'll just take a dry cloth and I'm going to wipe this off into my garbage can. So here we are. We're back to square one. Back to pretty background. And this time, I'm going to heat set it like I told you to do, but I didn't do it. Alright, let's this cool off, because otherwise my white will stick to my clear. Alright. Try it one more time. Here's hoping, fingers crossed, all that jazz. Alright, I think we're good. See, really glad I did the Misty now, because if I had done it by hand, I would have had to try to eyeball it with no guide, with no eyeballing. No eyeballing? Nothing to eyeball. Holy crap, people. Is crap a bad word? I hope not. It's like the nicest thing I say. Alright, more Versamark. More baggy. Bag that up. Alright. Okay, I feel like maybe we're okay. So now we're going to do the white embossing powder. Just like every other person in the entire world, I keep my embossing powder in a container. Just makes my life easier. Clear away any strays. And now I'm going to heat emboss this. Okay, and then one more time, because this little set comes with all these little cutie patootie thanks for everything, because Linda and the girls have been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for many, many years. So they've done a lot of things for me, and you know I'm a huge proponent of saying thank you and being grateful to the people who are good to you in life, because there are far too many, I'm just gonna say not nice people, because that's not what I would normally say, but you know, PG and all that business. So yeah, just be grateful, be good people. If you want people to treat you well, treat them well. And if they don't treat you well, well, that's okay. Forgive quickly. Not everybody's perfect. We're gonna move this Misty back out of the way. I can't tell if that's crooked or not. And the reality of the situation is we're too far into it for it to matter. So let's have a look-see, shall we? Alright, I think we're okay now that I can actually see it better. And I still feel like this panel is too big. Let's see, this is a regular size card. Oh dear God. See, look, I was trying to do quick math, and what happened there? So I feel like this is too long. I don't like it. So I think we're going to use one of these. This is actually Simon Says Stamp. It's not Hero Arts. I would use Hero Arts one if they had one of these, but they don't. And this is just the stitched rectangles die. It adds a fun little stitch. What are we at? Oh, we're at 20 minutes and 11 seconds. See, I cannot accomplish anything quickly. Nothing. Zero things. So, bring up the Cuttlebug. Hopefully, I'm sure it's bouncing that camera all over the place. Hopefully you're not, like, gonna go vomit. So, I feel like this is not centered. Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna hold this in place with a little bit of washi tape so it doesn't get all cattywampus on me. Cattywampus. That's a fun word to say, don't you think? You know what else is a fun word to say? Papoose. Say it. Do it. You're doing it right now. I know you are. Don't lie to me. Papoose. There's just some fun words in life. You gotta embrace them. Alright. A little bit of washi tape there. We're gonna run this through because I feel like that's gonna make it a bit better. A bit better. Pow. That was, wow. That really just, oh, gotta laugh at yourself, folks. Gotta. It's a thing. Oh, if you let every little thing bother you, you know, like enunciation, then life's gonna be hard. It's hard enough. Don't make it worse. Son of. Alright, here's what just happened here. See this? My tape peeled. Okay, my tape peeled up some of this, so we're gonna see what we can do to fix that. Cause I'm not doing this again. It's not happening. We'll see what we can do to fill it in with some Distress ink. And cross your fingers it works. Or you're never gonna see this. You're never gonna see this video. Alright. I'm sure my head is in this. In fact, I'm positive. So, not the prettiest looking hair I ever had. I just got off of work. Can you see that? Can you see it? Can you? I can't see it. I think it's okay. I think it's alright. Let's just do this just to be. And yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this flower up again because I'm making it all ugly again. But that's okay. Small price to pay to not have to make this whole panel again. Praise Jesus. Because, well, it just wasn't gonna happen. There we go. Alright, you wouldn't even know that I tore off my paper. So, that's pretty much the panel. I'm going to stick it on a card and call it a day. Because I got other cards to make. There's other things to do. Alright, thanks for hanging in with me. And if you have any questions, by all means, leave me a comment. Have a good day.